The word tactical is thrown around quite loosely, especially for marketing purposes, for products related to survival and preparedness. In this case, it actually fits. Folks, this is Fernando doing another video for the More Survivalists. And before I go on, I want to mention a couple things. These were not sent to me for promoting. No, I bought these with my own money. And no, even if they had sent it to me, it wouldn't change a thing. I have a strong opinion about the things I trust and recommend to you folks. And no, just sending something for free does not change it. But I clarify, these were purchased. And the price was actually quite good. That's why I bought a couple. A promotion that was going for like $22, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, I thought it was worth grabbing a couple. And I really like these. I like Petzl products in general. Before I forget, you will have the links for these there below in Amazon if they're available. If not, the closest thing to it. Sometimes it's a case that they're either sold out or it's not the exact same model. Whatever it is I find, I'll leave it there below in the description of the video, as well as the links for my books, Survival Skills and Surviving the Economic Collapse, based on my experience going through just that in Argentina. So this is the theme that I'm thinking about lately for people getting started in prepping, in survival. You don't need a whole lot of stuff. You do need a few things. And this is my recommendation. Having a decent knife, having, of course, a firearm, which is going to be maybe the more expensive investment when you're getting into prepping. Yes, I do recommend my books so as to learn a lot about these things and accelerate that learning curve and not make mistakes that will cost you money and, worst of all, the way I see it, time, okay? And these for 22 bucks, 22 bucks, depending on when you, and by the way, if you follow the link and the price is like a little bit more expensive, follow my advice. Just wait a little bit, especially if you want to save a few bucks, wait a little bit until you see a promotion and then grab a couple, okay? But the product is excellent. I've had Petzls for decades at this point. I bought the first one, I think it was at least 20 years ago, and they were first doing the LED flashlights. These were some of the first LED flashlights to come out in the market. They were not nearly as good as they are now. They were a lot more expensive, but quality was still there. I probably still have it somewhere. I wish I knew where it was, but excellent flashlights, and it's still the case. And as I was saying, these are true tactical flashlights. Why? Well, because they're designed with that in mind. The quality is there. Yes, you will see pictures of these cracked and so on because people put them through hell, but they just hold on quite nicely. And one of the things I've noticed, even if you crack it because you just beat on it hard, it just stays together enough so as to still get the job done. You see these used a lot by soldiers. You will find quite a bit of those special forces type of guys, and you see either videos or photographs of them being deployed or being in a chopper or doing some weird special ops type of thing. They will have a Petzl. You usually see this used quite a bit. And yes, you will have maybe your tactical flashlight, your weapon mounted light. Then you will have a bunch of other lights, but they usually have this either around the neck or around the helmet or somewhere because it's super light, because it's compact, and when you need just a little bit of light, it just gets that done for you. And because of the tactical disposition, yes, you have the red light. You also have the white light, of course. But in case you forgot, in case you're not so sure what was the last light you used, because it does remember, you have the function of just keeping it with a long press and it goes into red light. So as to never have that mistake of breaking your light, your white light in a moment where it's not desirable, you make sure you always have that red light. There was a moment in which they had like a little flip cap, and I guess that was one possible way of going about it, but that little thing could maybe move away or drop when you would have, boom, a big blast of white light, which could even be lethal for you if you're using it in the middle of a dangerous military operation. But in this case, you can always have that reassurance that when you want to have a white light, you will have it. Probably good idea to also remember to leave that on, especially if the last one you used was a white light, because it does remember, right? If you leave it a couple seconds, when you turn it off, when you turn it on again, it goes back to the last one that you used. So if that was red, goes back to red. If it was white, goes back to white. So yeah, maybe the best way to make sure you never forget. But in case you forgot, you just long press and you're done. In terms of how powerful this thing is, well, here you have the actual numbers. You have maximum power, 300 lumens for 2 hours. 65 meters is kind of debatable, but that's what they say. Standard 100 lumens, that's quite nice. 9 hours of 100 lumens. It used to be that 100 lumens was the standard for a surefire a tactical flashlight. Now that's just a medium output of light. Maximum burn time with 6 lumens. 6 lumens is decent enough to just move around and do stuff during a blackout or whatever. 120 hours, that's a long runtime. And in case you forgot this on or whatnot, or just lost a lot of battery, it goes into a reserve mode that is 0.25 lumens for 40 hours or for 30 hours. That is fantastic. That is a great, that's why this is a true tactical flashlight. Because, and if you've ever gone into like a cave, right? If you've gone down a cave and you turn the lights off, it is dark as hell. There is not a damn thing for you to see. There's just no light at all. I was in a cave not that long ago with my kids doing a little bit of, and we all took flashlights and backups and 3 flashlights each because we knew we were going there. But if you turn the lights off, it is fucking scary how dark that is, because in a cave, if you go deep enough, there is just pitch dark as you've never seen before. It is amazing and it's kind of creepy. But if you go there, and the guys from Petzl know this very well, it's better to have a little bit of light than no light at all. So whatever function they have, even if you screwed up and you forgot this on, or it just turned on automatically, or whatever happened, you have 40 hours of at least some light. And believe me, if you have been in pitch darkness enough, 0.25 lumens will be like the damn sun. It will be more than enough for you to find your way out of there. If you don't have that, you are trapped there, and it can be kind of pretty dangerous. So a little bit of runtime extra with that reserve, it is definitely welcomed. Let's check this out and see how well it looks in terms of the kind of projection of light that we have. So as you see, very little, almost no artifacts or rings or dark spots. If you get closer, maybe a little bit more of that LED being noticeable, but at the reasonable distances, it is a nice spill of light. And the same goes for the white mode. Let me go into white light there. I see in my screen a little bit of a few lines. That's probably because of the wavelength of the LED. But as you see, very nice spill, no rings, no artifacts that I can see. That's quite nice. Let's go into the higher. Same thing here. And the maximum output. I think it's a beautiful, nice spill. It's more of a spill rather than throw. But that's the thing with these tiny, little headlamps. They are very small, and it's kind of difficult to have a good throw projector. You can do a little bit better, but this is mostly for that, spilling of light. These would be ideal for, blackouts, for any power outages. If you're just walking in nature and you want to have some light, so visible light, so as to walk, and you're not doing like searching for someone, and you need a great amount of throw. In a more like a rescue or emergency scenario, but this is for you to move in the dark, right? And also for when moving in the dark, when you don't want to be noticed by others, this is the way to go. With that red light, it's a lot less, it's a lot more stealthy to walk around with a red light. And that may be something that you need, depending on the kind of situation that you're caught in. You also have that red strobe, which, to be completely honest, I'm not so sure why you would have this, but there it is. Maybe so as to have like a little beacon in case you want to signal something or whatnot. That's maybe one of the options. But I'm super happy with it, especially for the price. I think it's worth getting a couple. Let's see how it looks in the dark. So we start with the red light. Low white. Medium. So there you have it, guys. I think it's a nice it's a nice headlamp for you to consider if you're starting to get your stuff together and you're now making your first purchases and preparedness and so on. A flashlight is one of those essential things that everyone should have. Surprisingly enough, few people even have a simple little flashlight. They just use, these days, they just use a cell phone. And a cell phone is not a flashlight. And it's a horrible idea to eat up the battery of a valuable resource such as your cell phone just for illuminating. And besides, it will never have the output, the capabilities of an actual real flashlight. Will not have the throw of a bigger flashlight. It will not have the convenience of a headlamp. Running around with your cell phone. It's just the indication of the times in which we're living in, where men don't have a pocket knife, they don't have a flashlight, they probably don't even have a gun. Guys, that's gonna be all for now. I hope you enjoyed this little video. See you next time. Take care, guys.